Shabbat Shalom. Happy 2019, everybody. This is the first initiation activation for 2019. My readings are also activations because they provide maps to get through whatever point it is we are in the cycle, within the greater life cycle. So new moons, which the new moon is upon us tonight, new moons are initiations. They are the beginning point of the cycle. So this reading for the collective is also an initiation activation, and the cards will provide us with information that will help us to get through this part of our cycle with the most grace and with the most ease and with the most efficiency. And so what the archetypes will do is they'll reveal messages that, we already know because the answers are already inside of us, but it will pull out what is most relevant and kind of get rid of all the extraneous stuff, therefore showing us a clear path ahead into the future. So I think I've shuffled enough, and I'm going to begin the new moon reading. The first reading, 2019. And put some of your energies into the deck here. You guys, it's also Shabbat, and the story for this Shabbos is, so last week was starting the book of Exodus, and this is the second story in Exodus. I believe it's the 14th week of Torah, and it is all about the 7 plagues in Egypt. So we're in a really interesting point in the story, which is reflective of where we're all at in consciousness right now. The story of our shared evolution of consciousness. Interesting times. All right, I'm going to begin pulling now. So make sure you empty your vessel, let it all go. Let go of expectations, open up to receive the messages that want to be received at this time, here, now, in eternity. Okay, I picked 5 cards, and it looks like this. Okay, let's begin and pull them all. I'm going to flip them all at once. Okay, interesting. We have 2 wands cards in the center, and below them we have the Magician, Major Arcana. To the left, in our past, we have the Page of Cups, and to our future, we have the 10 of Swords. And so these are some pretty powerful cards. Now, I'm going to start with the Foundation, because the Foundation is the only Major Arcana card of the reading, and it's the first card of the deck, other than the 0, which can be placed at any point, which is the Fool. It's number 1, the Magician. The Magician. So it looks like this year is really going to be a year about making, seeing what we can do, putting our magic to the test. It's going to be all about being the magician, walking that middle path, and maintaining the remembrance that we are that magician through this year. Something that's coming through that is really important, I believe, for all of us to remember is that this first month, collectively we create this huge energy around this new year in 2019. And, even if you don't celebrate this time of the year as your new year, because Egyptians and Jews and other people, for example, will celebrate the new year at different times, it's still a very strong collective power, and January holds a lot of important energy for setting a foundation for the rest of the year 2019. Whether we like it or not, collectively this is what we've established. And so what are we doing with this first moon cycle of 2019? What are we setting in place? What is the foundation for the rest of the year to come? And I think it's really cool that we got the Magician as our foundation card of this reading. And I believe that it's going to be very significant. The cards are telling me this is the only Major Arcana card pulled out of all 5 that I just did for this first reading of 2019, because it's saying, look at me, this is going to be the most important factor. We have a foundation of magic. And I believe that we've done a lot of work in the inner hidden realms, and we're going to see a lot of that coming to the surface for 2019. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so moving upwards in the cards here. Let's go to the left and let's see a little bit about our past. 2018 was a year of getting in touch with our heart in a new way, being a messenger of what the heart is, what love is, and what emotions are in a new way. We were open to giving and receiving this love information in a way we never have before. So perhaps we've set off on a new path as far as our emotional development, our emotional intelligence, our understanding of the self, who we are as far as our heart's deepest desires. A lot of this was the focus of 2018. And where we are at right now is the 10. We have a 10 here, and we also have a 10 for the future. So it's interesting to note, okay, that we have a 10 and a 10 right next to each other, and they are the cards for this present point in time, and then the card for the future. The card for the present is the 10 of Wands, whereas the card for the future is the 10 of Swords. And as you can see, they're both pretty heavy cards. And heavy is the main word really for this one right here, the 10 of Wands, where we're at. It's the card of oppression and carrying too much weight. What is it that we need to... this is what I really feel is standing out the most about this card as far as a collective consciousness reading. What are we holding on to right now that we're ready to let go of and leave in the past as far as what our goals have been spiritually? What has been weighing us down that's maybe something that's time to just put down? It's not really worth our effort. Where are we creating an opportunity for more self-oppression? It's all the self, and ultimately we can't be victims. We have to choose a better reality for ourselves, and oftentimes we need to recognize that there's unnecessary weight that we're holding on to. So how are we doing this right now? This is what the cards are asking us. What can you put down to make space for whatever really needs to be done, for what really needs our attention and our energy? Looking into the future and seeing how it's the 10 of Swords, which is the card of once and for all ending a cycle, and it's swords, it's the mind, ending a cycle of the mind, a thought program, a belief system. In order to do this, we have to have the space to keep this in mind, to make this a goal. But if we're so busy holding on to things that aren't really serving us and working on those things that are just weighing us down, we're never going to create the space to be able to actually see what really needs to be worked on. So how can we right now make sure we put that weight down and create the space to be able to move into a future where we end maybe a negative cycle of thinking? Perhaps and I've been seeing this a lot in the readings that I've been doing for others as well as myself, that perhaps there are things we've been working on that are taking up too much of our energy, and the only reason we've been working on them is because we've been judging them, whatever those things are, as negative, when in fact they're not really negative, and we're wasting all of our time. Whereas if we took back our energy and we worked on eliminating those things that are actually the root of all of those other negative things, then those other things would fall away quite easily. So it's about working smarter, not harder. I really feel that coming through. It's about working smarter, not harder. Where we could be so upset about one aspect of ourselves and we're trying so hard to, get rid of that aspect. And in fact, all that resistance is just welcoming and more of it. We really could be using our energy in a wiser way and getting to the root of whatever that is, what the cause really is. Therefore, eliminating much more negativity in our lives than just that one little thing we were so focused on. And the root is in the mind always, so it's good that we're coming into a future of ending, it looks like we are going to get to the source of whatever the issue is, because it's always in the mind, which is swords. And so let's kill that negativity once and for all. Now above us is the final card. It's the ally card as we move through the present. So as we move through the present, this is our ally. And it's interesting to see that they're both the same suit. They're both wands. So they're both fire. They're both spirit. And the Six of Wands is the card of victory. And it's about sustainable victory. You can see that he's obviously celebrating some victory, but there's a man over here looking at him. And so it's about really watching your back. What does that mean to have to watch your back once you've already gained some sort of a victory? It's about how sustainable is that victory? Where did it come from? Does it have its roots in source, in purity? Did you gain that victory righteously? Because if not, you are going to have to watch your back, because something will take it away, because this is how karma works. You won't have to watch your back. You won't ever have to waste your energy worrying about what's to come if you do things from the right place, from the right space. So what that tells me in regards to the rest of the reading is like, what are we working on so much? What weight are we carrying? And is it really worth it? Like, what are the results going to be? What are they going to bring? Are the results going to be something that's really worth all this effort right now? Or once we actually get the result of whatever it is we're working so hard to get right now, are we going to still be carrying a burden because we're going to have to worry about, it being taken away from us or it not being sustainable? These are really very important things to look at. Why do we want these things so badly? Why do we give so much of our energy to it? And once we get the thing that we're working so hard for, how easy is it going to be to sustain it? How much of that strife and stress are we going to actually carry forward into our futures, even after having achieved the accomplishment that we so badly wanted, simply because we didn't gain it in the right way? And so the issue never really leaves, and we end up working doubly as hard, carrying all that weight. Self-oppression. And I hope that this message brought some insightful guidance into your life, and I'm definitely going to sit with it and meditate on it and see how it relates to my situation. I already can see some things coming in. So feel free to replay this message, and you can also find it on my YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/RebeccaMagic, and don't forget to subscribe so you get notifications when I decide to spontaneously and intuitively upload some messages from the other realms. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Shabbat Shalom. And Happy New Moon!